Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my 7-round mock draft of the Carolina Panthers. That is, of course, what we're going to be doing in today's video, talking about the draft. It's draft week. That's all we're doing this week is literally draft every single day. Sorry I couldn't get a video out yesterday for you guys. I got called into work a little bit earlier than I anticipated being, so that is why I could not get a video out for you guys yesterday. Now, today we're going to do Panthers, tomorrow we're going to do Cowboys, and then Thursday we're going to take a look at the Saints and see what their team needs are. Basically, all the three teams that I really follow in the NFL. So, if you guys are enjoying draft content and are excited for draft week, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. The playoffs are ramping up. Tomorrow's game number 2 of our series with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I have not gotten a chance to talk about it yet here. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow as time goes on, getting ready for that game tomorrow. But right now, let's go ahead and hop into a 7-round mock draft of the Carolina Panthers presented by me. Alright, here we go, our 7-round mock draft. I'm literally breaking it down as it goes. I did my draft on NFL Mock Database just because it was free and it was a draft simulation. So this is what they had available for everybody, and this is how things turned out. Now, for our picks this year, we do not have a first-round pick. We traded that to Chicago for the first overall pick last year, obviously, wearing the Bryce Young jersey right here. But we have the first pick of the second round with pick number 33. Then we have 39 in the second round, pick 65, pick 101, pick 141, pick 142, and then, of course, pick 240 as well. So that's what we're breaking down on today's video, who we're going up against as well. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. At number 33, I have the Carolina Panthers selecting Adonai Mitchell. This is going to be a huge factor in the draft this year is wide receivers. What wide receivers are we going to take to help Bryce Young get better? Obviously, trading for Deontay Johnson was a start this past offseason. Signing Adam Thielen as well was another start as well last year. But he cannot do that with those two guys alone. We're going to have some new guys come in as well. Jonathan Mingo's in his second year. I feel like he's going to take off this year if the offensive line can block for Bryce Young. That's also going to be a huge factor. We'll talk about that shortly. But at number 33, I have us selecting Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. This guy is a freak. This guy is the number 2 wide receiver on Texas this past year, I believe, behind Xavier Worthy, who, of course, ran the fastest 40-yard time in, of course, NFL combine history. But Adonai Mitchell's a great start to a great draft if we're going that route. Now, if we go Xavier Legette, like a lot of people have been saying, I would not be shocked if we do that, or Ladd McConkey if he's on the draft board by the time we get to it. Those three guys are really what I'm looking at with pick 33, Ladd McConkey, Xavier Legette, and then of course Adonai Mitchell as well. It's been rumored that Xavier Legette is going to, of course, be ready to play with the Panthers as well. They've talked to him about it. They basically said, hey, if you're available, we're going to draft you, is what we've been hearing. So with that said, Adonai Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, and Xavier Legette are all who I'm thinking of the Panthers are going to take at pick number 33. All right, moving on. I'm literally going to run down the list of picks really quickly. That is pick number 39. I have us selecting cornerback Ennis Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri. Now, I know a lot of you have probably forgotten about C.J. Horn because of his injury history, but I have not. I have not forgotten about C.J. Horn. I do have us selecting a very talented quarterback in this dude, Rakestraw Jr., who played for Missouri. I watched him play a little bit with Chris Abrams-Drain at Missouri as well. But we need depth on defense. We do not have a lot of depth on defense, so that's why I'm going with Ennis Rakestraw here as a cornerback. He's a very talented cornerback. He made some great plays playing for the Missouri Tigers as well. That 1-2 punch with them was really what led that team to a 10-2 record this past year in the SEC. So, with that said, I have us selecting a cornerback at Missouri, out of Missouri, Ennis Rakestraw Jr. as well. Moving on, this one's going to be a little bit controversial for a lot of people, but I have us selecting Jonathan Brooks, the running back out of Texas. This guy made some great plays in the Sugar Bowl. Made it in the Alabama game, of course, on the road in Alabama as well. But this guy can obviously produce huge numbers too. He's fast. He's what we need. We need another running back to go behind, of course, Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard. We need depth in that position. We need another Christian McCaffrey-like player, and I think Jonathan Brooks can be that guy, especially with the numbers that Texas has put up this past year. He could definitely do it. So that's why I have us drafting him at 65. I would not be shocked if he's already taken off the board by the time we get to this pick or pick 39, but I have us taking Jonathan Brooks out of the University of Texas. Moving on is a position we desperately need at number 101, and that is Cade Stover out of Ohio State, the tight end for the University of Ohio State. He went very well with Marvin Harrison Jr. this past year. Now, I'm not totally sure who Ohio State's quarterback was this year. I guess I could look it up really quickly, but again, that Ohio State offense was really good. It was a top scorers in the league, and I believe that one of that part is, of course, Cade Stover. So yeah, when quarterbacks get their ball to tight ends, they usually don't have a lot, but Will Howard, of course, was the starting quarterback, I believe. So that is why I have us taking Cade Stover at number 101. A really good tight end, and also he can be a really dominant blocking threat as well. Moving on is 141 and 142. We'll do both of those back to back. At 141, I have us taking Leonard Taylor out of the University of Miami, the defensive lineman. I think if we get him, he will be a great addition with Jadeveon Clowney. That guy can make plays all over the board. We saw that with Miami's defense this past year as well. He is a main part of that Miami defense. But Jadeveon Clowney, learning behind a guy like Jadeveon Clowney is going to be huge for his development. So that's probably why I have us selecting a defensive lineman. We also need depth at that position. Jadeveon's not going to help us, especially with the loss of Brian Burns. We're not going to be able to cover that with just one guy. So we're going to need 2 to 3 guys to help us recover from the loss of Brian Burns this past offseason. But I have us selecting Leonard Taylor at 141. Now, at 142, I have us selecting Tyreek Smith, the safety out of Georgia. Now, this was a great piece of that Georgia Bulldogs defense that was so talented this past year. Obviously, getting them to the SEC championship, holding Alabama to a minimum amount of points was phenomenal, all of it in and of itself. But Tyreek Smith can definitely make plays, and with his name sounding like Tyreek Hill almost, basically says to me this guy's going to be a great player. So number 141, number 142, Leonard Taylor and Tyreek Smith respectively out of Miami and out of Georgia. All right, moving on to our final pick at 240. That is Jordan Jefferson. Now, I know you may be saying, hey, sounds like Justin Jefferson, right? Including the fact that this guy went to LSU, another defensive lineman who's going to be a really big-time help within the defensive lineman department. He played in the SEC. Obviously, we've talked about that. Now, with that said, we still got to add up edge and obviously add up depth on that defensive lineman position as well. So Jordan Jefferson is going to be a great addition if we're going to get him. Sounds like the brother of Justin. Yes, I know. Don't get those two confused. But I have us taking Jordan Jefferson at the number 240 pick in our 7th round. Anyway, that is going to be all for my 7-round mock draft with the Carolina Panthers. Let me know, number 1, what you thought of in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best posts on this channel every single day. Yesterday, I couldn't get a video out. Tomorrow is going to be Dallas Cowboys. Thursday is going to be New Orleans Saints, and then Friday we're going to play our Franchise Friday as well. So, hit that sub button if you're into draft content. Stay up to date with all things NFL draft this week. We're having fun talking about it on the channel. Tonight, back at it with some NBA playoff action as well, and the Astros are on national television for me. So that's what I'm going to be watching. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.